Hey guys, it's Cori here. Today's sequence is going to be another yin flow style of yoga, even though those two don't necessarily go together because yin is just holding poses for a pretty long time for up to 5 minutes, and flow is moving with the breath. We'll move a little bit to prepare ourselves to sit in the postures for a longer time. And it can be good if you're new to yin yoga or if you find yourself getting a little bit restless and distracted in a traditional yin style. See what you think, let me know. We'll get started down on our backs, and I have this pillow underneath me. I'm going to keep it with me while I practice, so you might like to have one too. It could be helpful. So come down onto your back, and if you have a pillow with you, get nice and cozy and tuck it underneath your head. Close your eyes and get into a place that's comfortable for you. And take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, release it right back out your nose. Inhale, start to bring your attention onto your mat and into your body. And exhale, concentrating on the breath helps us to do that. Inhale, making it a little smoother. And finding that transition when the inhale changes into the exhale. And take 2 more rounds here with your own rhythm. When you finish those last 2 breaths, gather the knees up into your chest, give them a nice hug, give yourself a little rock side to side. And then keep holding on to the right knee, straighten out the left leg if it goes straight, or if not, just bend the knee, place the foot on the floor. Take your left arm a little out to the left side. Inhale, open up your right knee towards your right armpit and the side of your mat. And feel a little space in your groin. On your exhale, take that knee across the body over to the left side. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the floor. We'll do that wave a couple more times. Inhale, open the right knee to the right side. Exhale, take it across your body over to the left side. Once more, inhale, open up into the hip. And exhale, feel a stretch in the outside of the hip as you feel a twist in your spine. Come back through center. Straighten the right leg out. Draw the left knee in. Take your right arm out to the right side. Inhale, open up into the left side of the groin. Exhale, draw the knee over and across the body to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, close it off. Just moving with your breath and creating some more space in the hips. Take 1 more round. And draw the knee back into the middle. And straighten out the legs so you're nice and even. Start to bring the bottoms of your feet together. Knees out wide as they'll go. And start to feel your knees, the outsides of the thighs grow a little heavier down towards the floor. And take an inhale all the way down into your lower belly and into your pelvis. And exhale, imagine that energy traveling back up from your low belly out through the crown of your head. Inhale just like that again. And take 1 more breath here. And then you'll start to press your weight up onto your forearms, crawling your way up. Press weight into your hands, just being mindful of your shoulders. And once you come up, slide your feet about a foot away from your pelvis. Let your knees be heavy down towards the floor, just like they were when we were on our back. And then press through the sitting bones, sit up nice and tall. Let your heart reach forward towards the insides of your feet. And keep the spine as long as you can while you feel the hips open up. And if you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, then you bring the nose down towards the insides of your feet and let your upper back round in. Use an inhale to rise up. Cross about midway up your shins and come into Sukhasana, an easy seat. You have your pillow there, maybe, if you'd like to raise your hips up. Then let your right ear drop to the right shoulder. Let the chin come down towards your chest. Left ear over towards your left shoulder. And begin to open up the neck here, side to side. And if it would feel better for you to take it all the way around, then you can take a full circle with the head. And if you're going all the way, switch the direction. Come back up through the center. Switch the leg that's in front. And then stretch your right arm out to the right side. Flex your palm like you're pushing it into a wall next to you. And let your left ear drop to your left shoulder. Crawl your left fingers out to the left so they press down into the floor. And then imagine rubbing your whole right palm down that wall. Feel a big stretch in the right shoulder and the right side of your neck. Take it nice and slow till the fingers come all the way down to the floor. A little stretch into the right side of your neck. If you need more, take your left hand and just rest it on the top side of your head. No pressing down, just let it be an added weight. Then use the left hand on the bottom of your head to just press it up through center, supporting your head on its journey up. You'll stretch your left arm out to the left side, flex that palm like it's pressing into the wall, and then let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. Right fingers stay pressing into the floor. Nice and slow, start to run your left hand down that imaginary wall. Feel all the little stretches along the way. Taking it really slowly until your fingers come all the way down to the floor. And once the left fingers are on the floor, gently rest your right hand on the top of your head. A little added stretch. Then use the right hand to support your head and your neck as you lift back up through center. If you have your pillow, slide it out of the way and come around onto your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Make sure the hands are shoulder distance apart with the pointer straight forward or a little turned out. We'll take some wrist stretches here. So just begin to move your shoulders in any shape that feels good. Try to keep your hands and your fingers flat on your mat. Some people like big circles, some like more of an infinity sign. If you take circles, make sure you change the direction. Then spin your fingers out to the sides of your mat. Lean a little bit, shift side to side. And a little more challenging, spin your fingers back to face your knees. Try to keep the fingers and palms flat if you can. And then tuck your toes under, and if you need more, sit your hips back toward your heels. Remember to breathe here. Rise back up through center. Keep your fingers pointing back toward your knees, but flip the palms over, so now you're on the backs of your hands. Curl your fingers into fists as tightly as you can. Inhale, open up the fists, spread the fingers. Exhale, draw the fingers back in. Inhale, spread them wide. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, spread them wide. Flip your hands back to normal. We'll take a round of cow pose, so inhale, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, round your spine, draw chin to chest. Inhale, come back through center. And on your exhale, keep your elbows nice and tight into the body. Try to keep yourself in a straight line. I had to move my knees back a little bit. We'll lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra, stretch your heart forward, toes back, press the tops of the feet down. Exhale, press through your knees and through your hands. Sit your hips back, come to a child's pose. Inhale, shift back through center, back into your cow pose. Heart forward, shoulder blades draw together. Exhale, round your spine, cat. Inhale, back into neutral, hug the belly in, elbows tight to your torso as you come all the way down. Inhale, find your cobra. Keep the legs and the feet active. Exhale, press through, hands and knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, back to your table, come into your cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Inhale, back through center, back neutral. Shift your heart a little bit forward, belly hugs in, all the way down with a nice straight spine. Inhale, open up, heart reaches forward, big toes reach back. Exhale, press up through hands and knees. Sink back, child's pose. Inhale, rise through the center. On your exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, downward dog. And take your feet wide, keep a bend in your knees, stretch your sitting bones up and back. And then inhale, rise to the balls of the feet. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Find Uttanasana or a forward fold. Let your arms hang, your head nice and heavy, neck is relaxed. And bring your hands or your fingers down onto the mat. Bend your knees a little bit so you can step your left foot back and lower the back knee down. Press into your right heel, rise up for Anjaneyasana, take your arms up by your ears. Then since you have the right leg in front, we'll cross the right arm underneath the left. You'll either give yourself a hug, especially if you have any shoulder issues, or you could bring the backs of the hands together, or palms pressed together, eagle arms. And sink down as much as you like into your hips. And feel the backs of the shoulders opening up. And then release the arms, stretch them back up high. And take them down to the inside of your front foot and heel toe that foot a little bit wider for lizard. If you like, stay up here on your palms or lower down onto your forearms. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths. Begin to shift the weight back up into your hands. Then set up an easy version of pigeon pose. So keep the angle pretty sharp between your calf and your thigh so that your toes are pointing more back towards your left thigh. Square off the hips and be up on your fingertips here. On an exhale, as long as it feels good on your knee, wave the chest forward. Inhale, peel the chest up off the thigh. Exhale, lower yourself down. One more round like that. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to rise up. And then press down into the palms. Tuck your back toes under. We'll shift through hands and knees back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heel side. Exhale, walk your feet forward back into your fold. And let the arms hang or grab opposite elbows. Let the head be heavy. Shift a little more weight towards the balls of your feet. Then let the fingers find the floor. Bend your knees so you can step your right foot back this time. Lower the back knee down nice and gently. We'll press into the front heel to find Anjaneyasana on the second side. Arms come up high. Sweep your left arm underneath the right this time. Find eagle arms. Again, you could be hugging the shoulders if it bothers them at all to have the palms together. Breathe into the back of the shoulder blades, opening them up. Inhale, release the arms, sweep them up high. Exhale, hands come down, both of them to the inside of your left foot, and heel toe that foot a little wider. Choose your variation of lizard pose so that you can hold it there for 5 breaths and that you feel some good opening in your hips. Begin to press the weight back into your palms. Find that version of pigeon with the sharp angle between your thigh and your calf. So it's actually sleeping swan in yin. A little more gentle on your hip than pigeon pose. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Exhale, wave the belly and the chest down. Inhale, peel the chest up, open your heart. Exhale, wave yourself down. One more round. Inhale, open wide across the collarbones. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, rise up. Press the palms down, slide your left knee back in line with your right, and take your knees wide. Sit your hips back onto your heels. We'll find a version of child's pose, but take your hands all the way to the upper corners of your mat and press your fingertips down so you feel a little more shoulder opening here. If it feels okay, stretch your chin forward. If not, just take the forehead down to your mat. Then rise up about halfway. Take your right arm, thread it underneath your left so we work more towards opening the back of the shoulder. And if you like to, you could wrap your left hand around your lower back. If you have your top arm bound, unwind it. Press the fingers down so you can slide the right arm out and replace that hand. Switch to the other side, so left arm threads under. We'll stretch open into the back of that shoulder. Maybe the right arm wraps around. And stay here for a few breaths. Unwind the top arm, press the finger pads down. And we'll slide the left arm out. Press down into the palms this time. Come up halfway, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. And then we'll set up the more traditional version of pigeon. So you'll take your right knee up behind your right wrist. Work that shin more across toward parallel to the top of your mat. And the toes could come back. If you want to make it gentle, slide your pillow underneath your right hip to support you. And then lower yourself down onto your forearms or walk the arms all the way out. And settle into your pigeon pose. And let your breath be a reminder of your mind to settle in. And take one more breath here. Then walk your hands back up to the top of your mat. Slide your pillow out, but keep it nearby. You'll shift the weight over into your right hip and sweep your left leg out in front of you. We're setting up for Janu Shirsasana, so the left leg will go straight out and the right knee is bent. You might take your pillow and support the right knee, especially if it bothers you at all. And then inhale, sit up tall, twist your belly a little bit so it faces your thigh. Let yourself crawl over that extended leg. And you could grab hold of the foot if you like, but you don't have to. You could just let the arms relax. On your next inhale, rise up. Just be mindful of your knee if you need to move the pillow out of the way. Take your right hand back behind you into the center of your mat and push down through that palm and through your right shin. Lift the hips up. Then sweep your left arm up and over your ear for a big long stretch along your whole left side. You could even look up towards the ceiling underneath your armpit. And take your hips back down to the mat. Then you'll turn to face the front of it. And you have some options here. We'll either set up for Agni Stambhasana or fire log pose, where you take the right shin parallel to the front of your mat, flex into both feet while you're doing this. You're trying to stack the left shin on top of the right shin with your feet in line with your knees. And that's why I have my pillow here, because it's kind of hard for me to do that. If you feel like it's bothering your knees at all, just come into a normal cross-legged seat with the left shin in front. And if you need extra, you could fold forward. I have some knee issues, so I'm going to stay upright. So just listen to your body, your hips and your knees, and see what you're feeling. Use the breath to travel down like it's ironing out any kinks. And just stay present to the experience. When you're ready to come out, rise up if you're folded. Slide the pillow out of the way if you have it. And then uncross your legs. Step your feet wide, hands behind you. We'll windshield wiper a few times just to loosen up the hips. Then you'll sweep the knees back around behind you. Step back to return to your downward facing dog. Set up pigeon on the second side, so left knee up behind your left wrist, lower the shin and the knee down, walk your back toes back. If you like your pillow underneath your hip, you could tuck it under there for some extra support. And then fold your way down into your pigeon. Return to that slow, steady breath here. And take another inhale. And stay for the exhale. Bring the hands back up to the top of your mat. Slide your pillow out of the way for a second, just so you can sweep your right leg around straight out in front of you. Get reset into your Janu Sirsasana. Maybe the pillow supports your outer knee. Inhale, sit up tall. A little twist comes from the belly. And then you'll extend your spine out over your straight leg. And fold in forward. Use an inhale to lift you up. Again, be mindful of your outer knee. Press your left palm into the mat behind you. Root down through your left shin and lift the hips up. Then sweep your right arm up and over. Feel that long stretch of your side body. Maybe gaze up underneath your armpit. And sit the hips back down. You'll take your left shin, this time on the bottom, parallel to the top of your mat, and flex that foot. Flex your right foot, working to stack the right shin on top this time. Again, maybe you use your pillow if it's difficult. If it's just seeming like not something that your knees want to do, then cross your right shin in front and take a normal, easy seat. And again, try to have your feet in line with your knees. Sit up nice and tall. And if you need extra, fold forward. When you're ready to come out, if you're folded forward, sit up straight. Slide the pillow out if you have it. Uncross your legs and take your feet wide. Give a little windshield wiper side to side. This time we'll straighten both legs out in front of you. If you have a pillow, you could lay it right down over your thighs and start to let your belly creep forward, fold your way in. And pillow or no pillow, you'll take a nice easy forward fold. And this one can be relaxed. You don't have to keep your feet active. Just feel the stretch in the backs of your legs. Inhale as you rise on up out of it. Take your pillow off to the side. Come all the way down onto your back. And you have a couple of options. You have the option to take shoulder stand if it's a part of your practice and you're familiar with it. If you've never done shoulder stand before, I don't recommend trying it for the first time on your own because it can be a little risky to your neck. So just straighten your legs up towards the sky. If you'd like to do shoulder stand, if you're used to it, you'll take your knees right up over your hips, press your palms down by your sides, and then you have to get a little bit of momentum. So you'll swing your hips up. They're trying to come up over your shoulders. Walk your elbows into shoulder distance and then bend them so you can place the hands supporting your lower back. Right now you're in plow pose. Then you'll use the hands to support your lower back as you lift the legs up towards the sky, trying to keep your toes right up over your face. Keep some engagement through the legs. Try to keep the weight out of your neck and elbows drawing into shoulder distance. Sometimes they need a little reminder to stay close to each other. If you feel it at all in your neck, come down. You can always reset and go back up. We'll hold it here for about 5 more breaths. And then take yourself back down into your plow pose so the feet will find the floor behind you. You'll press your hands down by your sides. Press them down. They're going to act like your brakes as you roll out of it. So you'll roll down slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, belly engaged. And bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. And then find your pillow, if you have it. Press down into the heel so you lift up your lower back and your sacrum and slide the pillow right underneath you. Let your hips settle in. If you don't have your pillow, you'd be taking a bridge pose, pressing your heels down. Or if you'd like it more restorative, just settle your low back down onto the mat. And a little press down into your heels, just enough to slide the pillow out from underneath you. And take your feet wide. Let both knees drop over towards the right side. Then stretch your arms back behind you and use your right hand to grab your left wrist. Stretch really long through your left side. And feel a little extra opening in that hip flexor. If you need more, take your right ankle, place it on your left thigh. Release the grip from your wrists. Take the ankle off the thigh and travel both knees up through center so they drop the other way. This time the left hand will grab hold of the right wrist. You'll stretch it up and back. And if you need more, you'll take your left ankle onto the right thigh. Release the grip from around the wrist. Release the ankle off the other leg. Knees come up through center and then up into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Take a rock or a happy baby if you like. And then set up your final resting pose. If you have your pillow, it might be nice to place behind the head. Or if it's a long one, you could tuck it underneath your ankles. You could even sit on top of your pelvis for a little extra grounding, security in your body. Do whatever you need to do to get comfortable here. Relax the eyes, feel the eyelids fall shut. And settle in to enjoy your final resting pose in Shavasana. Take it nice and slow as you come up out of your rest and begin to go about the rest of your day. We live in such a busy, fast-paced world that it makes it even more important to slow down and participate in these mindful practices. So I hope you found it helpful. As always, let me know if you have any suggestions or if you liked it or if you have ideas for other sequences that you want to see. So grateful to you for sharing your practice with me, and I thank you for letting me share mine with you. Namaste.